What's up, guys? You know who it is. Marcus with another video for you. I can't talk that loud because everybody's still asleep. But this is why I feel like a lot of us, we need coaches, especially men. Like, we need mentors and we need coaches simply because we don't have the, a lot of times we're in families that don't have fathers, or they're missing the mother, or whatever, single parent homes, if you will. So here's the thing. I stayed up a long time last night, talking to a young man, and it was, it was very informative, very, very informative. And he was able to get a lot of things off of his chest. And I took, I wrote some of the stuff down, as we were talking. And, or usually when I have a conversation with anybody, I'll write some stuff down, it's just because it's what I do. And, when you talk to somebody and you write down, it's easier for you to go back and, address whatever it is they said. It helps, it helps. So that's one little tip that you can take with you. Let me see, was this it? Yeah, okay. So a lot of times what I've noticed, because I'm a coach and a mentor, and I talk to people on a daily basis, right? And when the father is not in home, the child lacks critical thinking skills, right? And by critical thinking skills, I mean, if you're having a conversation with someone and it's a conversation of, maybe it's correction, maybe you are, confronting someone with something that's going on, and this is coming from a posture of a child speaking to, an adult speaking to a child, or a posture of a supervisor speaking to an employee. And, I just, and I mean, this can be in a relationship as well. If you are in a relationship and, it's time for you guys to communicate. I mean, these are basic communication skills, right? That I'm seeing that it's not so common anymore. Just being able to communicate is very, very difficult for a lot of our children. And not just them. It's very, very difficult for us to communicate. Because now we're grown and we're older and we have these egos that we have to deal with. And not the ego is a bad thing, but a lot of times, it turns into a contest. Who's going to get the last word? Who's going to say what? Well, what do you mean when you say it? And instead of, I just jump right into it. So, one of the first things I was thinking about is if someone's talking to you, regardless of what it is it, are you accepting the message, right? Are you accepting the message that, or is your mind open enough to communicate? Okay, so let me explain something. In order to communicate, there has to be a sender and a receiver, right? And in between the sender and the receiver, there's the message. Okay, so if I'm talking and you're talking at the same time, then the message is getting blocked right there in the middle. Because in the role of a sender and a receiver, the sender sends the message. Okay, the receiver hears and interprets the message. All right, it's basic communication. And a lot of us don't know this. A lot of us, it's crazy how we don't even we listen to reply. We don't listen to understand. We just listen so we can say something back real fast. It's like, oh, well, and then you have to say, as the mediator, you have to calm both parties down for them to even be able to talk to each other. Which is fine because it keeps me in business. But I don't know. I think the focus should be on the message. Anybody, even when I go to lectures, you can tell the posture of, the people in the audience, or if I go to a workshop, the people in the audience, and, they've paid money to go to these things, and their posture is, soon as the speaker stops speaking, they want to jump in and, ask a question, and it's like, wait a minute, did you even process anything that was being said? What did you come here for when, if you don't want to listen to what was going on, or your mind is completely closed and you're not receiving the message, like I said, and that's ego, and that's the inability to think, critically. You have to, that's a basic skill, and you're taught to listen, as a child, but listening is, I don't know, something that we choose to do at times. And I think that should be, I think that should be corrected, guys. We really got to work on that. And that's why I say, I was fortunate to have, a mother and a father in the home. So it's, I don't know, it's different. It's a lot, it's very, very different. So a lot of times we get caught up in the tone of voice that people are, it's when they'll say, you'll hear comedians and the media say, watch your tone when you're talking to me, and so on and so forth. But we have to get to a point to where we're able to surpass that, because if you played any sports, or you were in a position where you had an athletic coach, whether it was a male coach or female coach, you got yelled at. You know what I'm saying? You got yelled at, but it wasn't that they were, belittling you. It wasn't that they were trying to be negative towards you. They're trying to get you to do what they know that you can do. Do what you know that you can do. That's what the whole purpose of, yelling plays across the field. Push it, go, do better, go hard. That's the purpose. It is to shock you into, I can't do this. I can't make this happen. All right. So it's not, yelling, you don't necessarily have to do that, but sometimes us as adults, we are emotional about things and we're passionate about things. So when we yell, it's not don't cut us off because we're yelling. All right? Because we're just passionate about what it is that we're saying. Okay? I don't know. It's not bad, or we're not necessarily mad at you, because we're yelling or we're raising our voice, and that automatically shuts your brain off. You can't shut down when someone's talking to you. You know what I'm saying? You still have to process information. Otherwise, you're not going to learn anything from the conversation. I'm not saying yell at your children. But sometimes, you're passionate. You're passionate about it. And, you can be talking to anybody and you start raising your voice because you're passionate about what it is that you're talking about. So don't let the voice raising or, the tone or them yelling at you. I don't know. So it's, I don't know. And a lot of times the truth hurts. That's something that's one of the things that I had to deal with myself, the truth about somebody is more hurtful than anything, because you're touching on some very, very sensitive areas when you start telling the truth about somebody, right? Especially if it's a hidden truth, or unrealized by them themselves. And when you bring it to their attention, it's like, how you gonna say this, or why would you. And it's the truth, right? It's not. This isn't a lie. This isn't a rumor. This isn't gossip. This is the truth. So when we always tell our children to be honest, or we tell our spouse to be honest, or friends to be honest with us, and they can always be honest with us. And when the truth is being told to you, you get offensive. You get you're on the defensive. All right, you get defensive, and it's like, wait a minute, you told me to tell you the truth. I'm asking, we're having a conversation, and the truth is coming out. Don't, if the truth is based off facts, and it's simply what is, right? So why, I don't know. Yeah, truth is, people say truth is objective, and they can, you can say this and you can say that, and, the truth depends on whatever philosophy that they believe in. But that's not, let's look deeper than that, okay? Let's look deeper than that. If there are facts about you that you have to deal, just like me, there's facts about me when I'm dealing with my mentors and coaches, that I have to face. Yeah, I don't, nobody wants your shortcomings or things that you need to work on thrown in their face. A lot of times when you're dealing with children, you're correcting them continuously, right? So then, ask yourself, is this the second time? Have I had this problem before? Have I not come home on time before? Have I not, taken the car without permission before? And both times, there was consequences to it. How many times have you been told that you have to answer the phone when your mom or dad calls? You know what I'm saying? How many times? So you want to get an attitude because, you're in trouble, but we're going to be upset. As parents, we're going to be upset because this is the second, third, or, maybe even fourth time for some of you that I've told, they've told you not to do something and you did it anyway. So when the truth is brought to you, and it's there, but you want to be distracted from the message because we're talking too loud, or you know what I'm saying? It's called the psychological term for it is it's not coming to me right now, but you're choosing what you want to listen to, basically. All right, and that's not becoming at all. We always want to be in a position where we handle ourselves at the utmost. All right, so if we walk around with our fingers stuck in our ears all the time, you know what I'm saying? You don't want, nobody can correct you. Nobody can tell you what to do. You don't want to be that person that nobody wants to deal with because you can't be coached. Nobody wants the athlete that can't be coached. Nobody wants to deal with the woman that just won't listen. Nobody wants to deal with the man who you have to tell something over and over and over and over again. So if a situation is being constantly brought up, we have to listen. Something different has to happen. Okay, we got to do something different. If you find yourself, even in our position as a parent, if you find yourself dealing with a problem over and over again, you have to rethink the way that you're doing this. Yes, it may be that the child's not listening, but you may want to switch up the delivery and so on and so forth. Okay, so let me see what else. So a lot of times, because the father isn't there to balance, because with with both parents in the house, there's a balancing of the emotions, balancing of the energy, right? And you have you're able to raise a child. A child comes up with the perspective of the male or perspective of the female, right? And it gives them, when they're out in the world, they have those neurological patterns formed, right? It's a muscle memory for them to go back and say, oh wow. They can jog the memory and say, wow, okay, I remember my daddy said this, I remember my mama said this, or they talked about this, or this happened and this is what I was able to get through. Okay, so now I can apply that knowledge and that information that I learned there, right? Instead of focusing on what's being said to you, what your feelings are hurt. You're hurt by the truth, or you're hurt by being what's said. And once you're hurt, you don't pay attention to what's going on. You see what I'm saying? So the issue is deeper than just, maybe them not listening or whatever. It's a deeper issue when every time someone talks to you, it hurts your feelings. Okay, you have to reevaluate what it is that's going on with you. If every time somebody has some, something to communicate to you about, that may be an issue, there's something that may be going on, or there's a conflict, and your feelings are hurt because of it, those are some internal things that need to be balanced, okay? Because every time somebody talks to you, whether it be constructive criticism, whether they're bringing a problem to you or an issue to you, or you're confronted on things that are truthful that may be bothering someone, your feelings can't be hurt every single time. That something is wrong when you have to reason within your mind, are my feelings hurt or not? And this is keeping me from listening to what's being said. Okay? So you have to get out of your feelings and focus on what is being said. You must. You have to focus on the message as the receiver, and the sender, sending the message. We have to deal with ourselves as well, sending the message. All right? It's basic communication, and like I said, take some time and write down what you want to say. In a conversation, write down the things that you want to say, just in case, you forget. That may be the most effective way of getting your point across. Okay, because if you're a super emotional person and you can't take constructive criticism, you need to write some stuff down, because once you get your emotions going, you remember, you can't listen, you can't reason, because your feelings are hurt. So you need to write some stuff down so you can address everything that needs to be addressed, because your memory will begin to fade as your adrenaline begins to flow. All right, and you won't be able to effectively get the message across. So let me see. Let me go ahead and wrap this up, because this is longer than I wanted it to be. I don't mean to talk your ear off, guys, but I just wanted to get this out, especially to the men. And this is why we need, I don't know, like you can apply this to everything. I mean, this applies to a lot. And I think it goes back to you being able to balance, that the male and female energy, balancing the negative and the positive, the yin and the yang, okay? And I really, really think that I know that we can do better, all right? I know that we have the ability to do something different. We don't have to follow every cookie cut reaction that we've grown up watching, or we've grown up watching our parents carry on this way, and they haven't been effectively communicating. So if you see some of these things that I talked about, or you're dealing with some of these things that I talked about, reach out to me, and we'll work something out. Okay, reach out to me, and I will help you through that. I can give you tips, and you can watch my videos and you can get information and ways to deal with certain things. And let me know if this is a video you want me to continue doing, but it was just something that I wanted to go ahead and get out early, you know, from a conversation that I had with a young man last night. And I think all men need a coach. All men need a mentor. I think they are very, very important. You know, very, very important. You know, to have another man, you know, whether it's older or younger, that you can go to and bounce ideas off of, especially if you didn't have a father, you know, growing up, or a big brother, you know, growing up. So you can apply this to anything. I mean, you can apply this to any aspect of life. All right, you know, whether it be business, fitness, you know, whatever. But yes, that's what I wanted to say, guys. You know, everybody still asleep, so that's why I'm talking kind of low. So hopefully it came out pretty good. Listen, I can't promise you a lot. I can't, but I can guarantee you, if you don't do something different, nothing will ever change. All right, y'all take it easy. Try not to do too much. Peace.